Imagine meeting someone the first time and striking an acquaintance, and then you never talk to them, they never talk to you, there's never ever a conversation. That can't be a relationship. Welcome to Sales 101 Tips. Today we'll be talking about account management from chapter 8 of my book, Sales 101, What Everyone Should Know About Sales. And the chapter title is Account Management with Lots of Love. So what is account management? Account management is the process of maintaining an existing account and working on building a long-term, mutually beneficial relationship. So there are a couple of things about this definition that we should remember. First of all, we're talking about an existing account. So the assumption is that you've already started a relationship with the customer. You've won the account, you've closed the deal. The next important thing is you trying to build and maintain a long-term relationship. And so we're saying that you're going beyond just having a transaction to wanting to have a relationship. And the final most important part of the definition is it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Essentially, that means this relationship is not just about you, the salesperson, but about the customer as well. Why is account management important? First of all, it is good for business. There's research that shows that it's easier to sell to an existing customer than it is to sell to a new customer. Not just easier, it's cheaper, it's less time consuming, and it's less frustrating. And so it's good business to maintain customer relationships. So it makes it easier for you to sell to them. Another reason why account management is important is because there's something called customer churn. You can actually lose your customers. And so if you don't maintain the relationships properly, you don't ensure that you're being intentional about keeping them as customers, chances are you can lose the customer. And that will be very, very sad, because if you've worked so hard through the sales process, you've done all the things you have to do, you finally close the deal, you have this one transaction, you shouldn't lose out on the opportunity of selling to them more than once. And the third reason why account management is important is if you maintain relationships with customers properly, they can actually become advocates, ambassadors of your product, of your company, of your brand. And so account management is very, very important to businesses. Now, in different organizations, there are different ways of approaching account management. In some sales teams, there's a division between the acquisition team and the retention team. Essentially, there's a separation between the team that actually goes and gets the customers and then the team that makes sure that the customers don't leave. Whether or not that's the situation in your company or in your organization, the essential thing is that your business should have an intentional, sustained effort at maintaining and growing customer relationships. Now, there are various tools that can help an organization or even you as a salesperson to manage accounts. And so you can go online and you can check different tools out, but very, very basic things that you can remember. One, you want to stay in touch. So knowing when and how often to call, how often to send emails, how often to reach out, whether or not they are buying from you is a very important thing to remember. And so discovering tools that can help you to do that are key to maintaining customer relationships. Another thing I want you to remember about customer relationships is as the relationship progresses to becoming a long-term relationship, like in all other relationships, sometimes we take our friends for granted. Now, you never want to do that, because the thing about customers is once you get to the point where you're complacent and there's the perception of you taking them for granted, you can still lose them. We must never assume that a customer has no options. The customer always has an option. And even if they decide, if you're the only company offering that particular product or service, experience or event, guess what? They can decide not to buy at all. And so that's essentially what account management is about. It's just essentially you maintaining, trying to develop a long-term relationship with your customer so that you ensure that you don't lose them, you treat them well, and you always give them that wow experience why they chose you the first time. So thank you very much for staying with us today on Sales 101 Tips. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Petra Abba Asamoah. And if you're watching this on TV, thank you.